Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the best Damn Soulbound Show, trademark. I'm, of course, the magical Mr. Mephisto. I'm joined by some of your favorite content creators from across the Age of Sigmar community. We will be playing some hot, sick Soulbound for y'all. This is episode 8, Salt in the Sea, kind of wrapping up our Anvilgard arc here, hopefully. When last you met the party, the proverbial shit had hit the fan, and I'm actually going to go ahead and let the party kind of take over the recap here to not tip all my GM cards, but so that they can also sort of simultaneously fill in Tom, because he did miss a week there, I believe. So,
well,
do you recall where you were? Skig and crew had... Go on.
We were on the docks, and the big orc had just landed. And he was joined by his big giant maw crusher and about 20 or so gutter runners that all jumped out at us. And Bigwinter pulled an ace play.
Fyrgrim, actually.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. Well, I was going to say what Bigwinter did to save Fyrgrim, but yes, you're right. Fyrgrim, who wasn't here, went and tackled the big orc and took him into the... He was a, flaming orc. He, was heat from the inside. And so since he was fire and you're fire, you went and tackled him into the water and created a bunch of steam, and that removed him from the combat for a moment. The three of us then proceeded to kill the Maw Crusher in a round, bring that bad boy down, and then a lot of Skaven came in. So many Skaven, all the Skaven. And Bigwinter went, and the orc came back out of the water, having dealt with Fyrgrim. And Bigwinter went in and grabbed Fyrgrim, and then jumped back up onto the docks to fight the orc. Skig proceeded to call down Sigmar's holy vengeance upon all of the Skaven, eliminating them. And then basically the Fyrgrim, or sorry, not Fyrgrim, sorry, then Bigwinter and Laanissa took down the orc. And that was basically what happened there. The two of them went ham on the orc. We then proceeded on. Then Skaven gnaw holes opened up all around the city as Skaven began invading in a random chaotic fashion. And so there are little packs of Skaven everywhere. It's not a full-scale invasion because we stopped that from happening by disrupting the play in the playhouse. However, there is still a lot of nonsense going on and chaos, and so we rallied Fyrgrim went to rally the Stormcast battalion that's there, and we went to investigate at the foundry, or whatever I think it is, that produces
the billows.
The billows, yes, that produces the spray that keeps back the wilds. And then we went to confront... When we went to the billows, we confronted a warlock and his Stormfiend pet, and a whole lot of storm vermin, and a whole lot of clan rats, like so many rats. And I cleaned up the chaff of the rats, while once again Fyrgrim, good night. Bigwinter and Laanissa had to take down the warlock and the Stormfiend, the sort of main threats, and they brought those down. I specifically remember Fyrgrim. Gosh, darn it. Sorry, I got to get everybody's names locked back in my head.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a few weeks, yes.
I was doing work.
I specifically remember Bigwinter stabbing the brain rat on the back of the Stormfiend right through its dumb head and exploding it, leaving the Stormfiend a catatonic just body that was sitting there.
Yep.
Did it become your battle mech? Did you jump up on it and no? Yeah, missed opportunities. Yeah.
Use of bad model additions ever.
Yeah. So that was, and then we left off in the billows, and we were about to press deeper into them, I believe, to see what else was going on.
Right. And so essentially, this scene displays before you of this sort of series of varying height sort of spires with these very classic sort of pumping veins that help manufacture this mist, this fog that they use to keep the jungle from overtaking Anvilgard. As pointed out, Fyrgrim, you did run off with Dame Tamia Seln, who was the sort of bookish Stormcast Eternal that you'd met previously to sort of rally the guard. One thing that was left out of the recap was you seemed to, prior to tackling the fire orc, Vorgar Goretrain, you seem to have this look of recognition on your face, which is something we will come back to.
Okay.
Sort of, we'll lead Adventure 9 with, I think, with a little bit of a flashback, as because flashbacks in RPGs are awesome, even though they might suck in other stuff. So you have this look of recognition, and it's been haunting you as you kind of make your way through the streets of Anvilgard with Tamia, rallying the various like outposts and stuff to get the. The Stormcast don't need to be told to go fight Skaven. The portals opened up. They fought thousands of years of combat between them. Like they're already in motion, like a well-oiled machine, just almost imperceptibly, like psychically, just locked in and going to war. But to get them to sort of like pass information through, Tamia Seln has been doing that. And as I recall, you went to the bar just in time to like watch the awesome Stormcast who runs the bar just like smash the crap out of a Stormfiend herself with her hammer. And this whole while, the face of this orc of this Vorgar Goretrain has just been like haunting you a little bit, and you just like pointed at him, and you're like, you, and you see flashes of like sort of runes hitting an anvil, and you can see like an orc there, and these sort of 4 other individuals cloaked in shadow around you. Faces, you look at them and you can hear them scream at you before their faces come into focus. You're almost about to remember this painful memory, and then like you're shocked out of it by like just a Skaven jumping at you, and you like bash it into a wall and like keep running. So that's pretty much what was going on while they're fighting the Stormfiend. Cut to, they have finished killing the Stormfiend. I'm sure Bigwinter has some fantastic one-liner, and we kind of zoom out from the billows, and you can see these almost like serene sort of white and gray clouds sort of breaking through this sort of green underglow as single bolts of lightning come down across the city, and some reinforcements show up to start beating back this Skaven invasion. We're back with the party. There is a sort of rumbling. Fyrgrim, you're running from something. You look back and you see the rough sort of circular mass shape. You come smashing through the gates that the party had sort of like scaled around, and they went all stealthy to get into the billows. You guys see Fyrgrim just like running and then like dive, and there's an explosion, and this massive wheel just comes through with like Skaven like piloting it on like weird cogwork mechanisms. Roll for initiative.
Okay.
They got mechanical horses.
Okay. So what you're saying is that a Doomwheel is chasing us?
Yeah.
Got it.
Well, I guess we're wheelie jumping right into it this time, aren't we?
Oh.
There it is.
This is a Dex one, right?
What are you asking? Are you
Initiative
asking
is
where your
your-
initiative comes from?
Yeah, I'm just trying to find it.
You should have your character sheet, which should tell you.
I found it.
Okay, good job. All right, Fyrgrim.
I forget how to do this.
It's
You look on the Excel
I have a
spreadsheet
four.
that
It's a
Vince
D6.
made,
I have
and
a
it just
4.
It's
and
a
it just tells you
D6
the initiative.
plus whatever your number is.
5.
Okay, you got a 5. Congratulations. Laanissa.
12.
Big winner.
7.
Is the Doomwheel the one big bad guy, or are there other things coming?
yeah, it's just the Doomwheel. He had pretty much routed most of the clan rats and stuff en route, but like he's kind of got cut off from Tamia trying to rally back to the party because he knew you were going to the billows, and then like another one of these gnawholes ripped open, and this Doomwheel comes plowing through with a bunch of clan rats. Tamia's like, well, we'll meet back up at the billows later, and he just like ends up getting separated with the Doomwheel just chasing him down.
Okay, cool.
And the Doomwheel gets an 8.
Okay. That's good. All right. Well, Laanissa, you're starting us off. Is it in a different? Is it in a different place than us right now?
It would be so Fyrgrim and the Doomwheel are like Zone 1. Y'all are like there's like a no man's land, and then y'all are like Zone 3, and then behind you would be like Zone 4, which is the Billows itself.
Okay, so we're two.
The
zones
compound. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
I will turn to Laanissa. Will turn to Skig. How the hell do I fight that thing?
There's a little guy in the middle, but if you got to jump through all the spinning blades, it's almost like you'd have to be an amazing contortionist to be able to jump through it at a run to be able to get to the engineer in the middle. But if you kill him, the whole thing stops.
Amazing.
That'll work. That'll work. I would like to proceed to move. To I can't make it. There's 2 away, so I can get 1 away from it with my action.
Yeah, you'd have to meddle to go the extra one.
Well, it's a good thing
Hey,
I got
Laanissa.
some metal.
You'd be perfect for that.
I appreciate the vote of confidence, Bigwinter. I will metal
Okay.
and attempt Skig's plan of contortioning through the spinny blades to stab the small rat man with the engineer's cap on.
Okay. So I'm gonna say that actually like contortioning your way in will be your action. You're not gonna get to attack. You're gonna have to like contortion through. That'll be the
That's fine.
athletics roll. One moment here. Let me grab my GM cheat sheet. That'll be the athletics roll. I'm gonna go with DN 5-2. Take note of 1s. You will be taking damage for 1s.
Alrighty.
And he does have advantage on this or whatever because of contortionist.
Because of contortionist, correct.
3 5s. A 4,
Which
and a
means
6.
it comes down to a 4 because of your advantage.
Right.
So all successes, 1 6.
And not a single one. It goes like full on Matrix. You're like weaving through and disjoining your body. You like at some point you go complete limbo, champion of the world, like Hermes style, from Futurama, and just like right as the whirling blades.
There's one moment where there's a wheel that's like the perfect shape for a witch elf to fit through, and I match it perfectly.
Yeah,
while
exactly.
spinning.
Right. You do a cartwheel like with no hands, and like it's the perfect this perfect silhouette of a witch elf, and you just like land inside this contraption. There's these rungs. It's much like a like a mouse wheel or anything like that. So it's got these like rungs and stuff like that, and you're actually like kind of up looming over this engineer who's sitting by a console with some levers and stuff, and you just like. Yeah! Like, just the most surprised expression you've ever seen on anything's face ever.
I used all my good rolls in that one.
All right, so that will be your your action, your turn.
Unless you have another medal you want to spend.
Or there is that, I suppose.
I'll save it. I feel pretty okay where I'm at, and we'll see what else people can think of right now.
Sounds good. Myself is next, and I will choose to take the dodge action and step behind step next to, but not directly touching the largest piece of metal in the billows I can find, with my back to a brick wall. And if there is any kind of actual rubber or cloth around, I will also make sure that I am touching that.
You're not looking for non-conductive surfaces, are you?
Well, yes, I am. I'm both putting a larger piece of metal near me so the lightning is attracted to that, and I'm trying to be on non-conductive surfaces so that it zaps, so that it can't shoot through me and take the full brunt of the thing. I know how warp lightning works. It's still lightning.
All right, so who goes next after you?
That would be the Doomwheel.
Okay, so the Doomwheel, you have a sort of cage-sized seats here, Laanissa, as the sort of engineer at the rig shouts out more warp lightning, and just like guns one of the levers forward, and you see these little sort of like spindles like crackle to light like with these blades, and just lightning goes out everywhere. So I'm gonna roll an independent die. Check out my sweet table I made.
As this happens, Laanissa will shout out, "Skig, you didn't tell me about lightning. That was not part of this plan."
You're safe. You're in a place it doesn't hit.
So
Point of order, the pilot is probably not safe, actually.
Good point.
With the roll of the 6, the lightning lights up the inside of the rig as well as shoots outward.
Well, never mind. Oh, yeah, there you go. You were right.
That's how it works on the table. You can blow yourself up.
True. This is true.
So like it rattles through the whole like rig and then like kind of shoots off like sort of randomly. I'm just gonna pick a single random target, including just nothingness. So nothingness will be a roll as well. Fyrgrim, you become the bane of the lightning as this sort of like random shot just ricochets off into nothingness.
Awesome.
And then 1 second here.
Now he's got to roll the strength on it. If it's a strength 10 lightning bolt, you're really in trouble.
Right. Luckily, it's really just like DN and then damage plus because it's more on the spell axiom. So
I understand.
And I am using these amazing Halloween dice I got from Noops. They're awesome. They're like twice the size of a normal die. They're complete dick dice, which I love. Wacky, horrible dice. So,
Nice.
so planting my usual OBR dice. So let's go. And then, so that'll be 6 just damage, just like rocketing through. Well, 7 plus successes, or 7 with the plus to it. So.
And so 7 damage. And
Yep.
so I'm comparing this with my body. Is that correct?
No, you subtract the armor from that, unless there's some kind of save that you're making, which I don't think he said you are. I think it's just
No.
damage. So you're just subtracting your armor off.
Got it. 7, huh?
Oh, meanwhile, inside the contraption.
We
Did it keep rolling forward, by the way?
Oh yeah, it's like it's plowing forward. It's now like 1 zone advanced, Inside the contraption, it is 5 damage. Like as your bolt just like.
got it.
The engineer just kind of like is slunked over a little bit, and just like you see the steam coming off. Who's up next?
That would be Bigwinter.
Well, unlike Skig, I don't know about warp lightning and how it works, but I did just see what happens. And this thing is on pretty much would you say a breakneck pace? Is that fair?
I think it's fair. It's at a gallop, like it's beyond its sort of walking. It's not at a full charge yet. It's building steam, as it were.
Oh, it's building. Okay.
Yeah. Y'all are stunned that got hit with lightning, which means you can't use your stuff. So.
Okay.
Cool.
That does include.
I feel like I really am just gonna try to hit this thing in the most lightning-looking area. I mean, use your imagination. Like it's probably got some big like metal box on it that's currently flashing like an NES boss. Like basically like a don't touch this with a metal pole. I'm going to stab it with a metal pole.
Okay, yeah. So
Bigwinter's be targeted for the win.
So you have essentially like some like stovepipe type things coming out, like exhaust pipes coming off the side, and then you have like these like little spindly bobble spear mechanisms coming off the front. The bobbly spindly mechanisms coming off the front seem to be the thing that generates like the electricity, or at least projects it.
Oh no, I'm thinking like engine, like thing that's powered.
Oh, on the back there's like a little dude with a doohickey, like just like I don't know, shoveling in warp stone and like pointing and like cackling.
Oh, I'm gonna kill that guy. I'm gonna try to poke him and get him.
Okay. So you rush up.
This is probably slightly hard, I imagine, because it's like moving and there's all these spikes and lasers and everything. What's my target?
Oh,
If I'm great.
So you're great. You would be at actually a 5 to hit the dude on the back.
All right, let's go.
All I have to say is fuck yeah, GM cheat sheets. Get you some GMs. Write them in your own words and stuff, and then it helps you internalize them. And then I started stabbing.
All right, this is okay. 4 damage, and one of them is a 6, so I'm ignoring 1 armor.
He's hanging in there. Like you skewer him and like you kind of catch him like in the designated good guy or designated bad guy spot, like right next to the heart, and pierce through into like your pike comes out his back. But he's like Gah! And like hangs on with one arm, and he's kind of like dangling a little bit before he lands back on the platform.
All right, well, I'm gonna give him the old advanced tactic maneuver, second skewer.
It's a good
Sometimes
plan.
it takes 2 of them. I'll make that a 6, so that it is the same. It's 4 damage, and one of them is a 6.
All right. Upon the second skewer, your strike's a little bit more true, and you catch him center mast and like kind of fling him off the back of the platform.
Good old second skewer. Nothing beats that, except third skewer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Anything else there? Big one?
That's it. Just the 1 medal.
Very good. That brings us to Fyrgrim. The important part about being stunned, Fyrgrim, is you can take either an action or a move, but not both. You cannot spend a medal. Your speed is slow, and your defense decreases 1 step.
I will continue stumbling forward.
You're just gonna go get into the zone with the
Like he's
Doomwheel
like
and
he's just like kind of like comes like huffing up next to it, just like hop, and like he like kind of catches up, and he's looking through, and you can see the spinning blades and Laanissa up in there, and like the warlock who looks almost inebriated at this point from the electrical shock, or the engineer.
Yeah,
sorry.
I'm gonna make a bad decision soon.
Cool. Then that brings us to the bottom of the round and a new initiative.
So bottom of the round would be Myriad. Is anyone still
yeah.
damaged from last combat? Do y'all recall?
Well, obviously, Fyrgrim has some damage now. I am not damaged from last combat, no.
Okay.
It was minimal from last time. So.
I had to rebuild my character, so I have no idea.
I doubt anyone is because I would have healed everybody in the 8
Skig
seconds
Fair
in
enough.
between.
Skig's usually full healing people.
So Myriad isn't awesome at the contort. Well, he kind of is kind of cool at the contortionist stuff without the real feat. So he's just gonna run up and like give some slashes at the. I guess could put some like space between Skig and the machine so that it must choose sort of like to either head towards him or head towards Skig or so on and so forth. And so he kind of spaces out to the side, but intercepting. Like so, it's kind of like slightly in its flanking.
Is this my replacement?
You've met Myriad.
You know Myriad.
Like, I mean, I finished.
And yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I finished his character sheet when you were gone because I had to.
Oh. His name's Kobo.
This is a reference.
That's an old joke just for Tom and I.
Perfect. Perfect. You'll have to tell me about that. Speaking of, like, I feel like a Patreon advantage should be I should record our conversations we have right before we go live, and then like let people listen to those.
Yeah, that is absolutely a Patreon perk.
Yeah, like because we solved like all of the problems with Age of Sigmar before we went live. Everybody. Yeah. So new initiative then.
Okay.
Myriad will be the black die. The Skaven will be the orange.
Now, am I unstunned, or do I need to get to my actual initiative to unstun?
Stun lasts. I believe it's.
Is it based on his turn?
It's. I'm gonna go with your turn. Like for this one, it would be in the rules text. I omitted. I didn't. Usually their spells write that stuff. It would have said like on like till its next turn type thing. So you should be the stun condition should currently be removed. We'll go with.
9.
You already went through having been stunned once. You are not going to be stunned.
Laanissa.
Hoping this means something. 13.
Hey, there you go.
Bound and town.
Big winner.
6.
Skaven contraptions that you are piloting or party to now deal double damage with your 13.
Sure. And the Doomwheel.
The Doomwheel gets a 7. Myriad gets a 6.
Sounds good. All right. Laanissa, you're first.
Just make sure I have this in my mind's eye right. The Doomwheel is heading straight towards the bellows. The important thing that keeps.
Pretty much, yeah. It's
okay.
I mean, it was chasing Fyrgrim, but then it saw the thing that was like probably in all their little Skaven attack plans, and it's like, okay, this is the way.
Okay, so I am stunned. So for my action, I would like to use intimidation by dropping down next to the engineer and screaming "Stop!"
Just like stop.
Yes.
Skaven are not known for their their metal, so this will be a DN3. Well, it would be opposed. I'm sorry, but I'm going to give you advantage. So you're on a 3.
Take that.
And then this will be a should be off of a intimidate actual check. So.
Yep. I would have 4 successes, 1 being a 6.
Okay. I see that I didn't get all dice to hit that. So yeah. You scream at it. I'm going to go ahead and say that it is frightened by you. So it rolls 1 less die for all tests. It cannot willingly move closer to the source of its fear. Unfortunately, that's you, and you're like right in its like stuff. So it's kind of going to like not attack you and like kind of lean away and like push the gears forward, or push the levers forward type thing. Just like yeah, screeching and like chittering. Who's up next?
Nice.
You are no longer stunned now, by the way. So going forward, you'll be good.
Okay. That would be myself. I will move up into the zone with all of them. I will. Let's see. Nobody's actually stunned anymore. So my action will be to. We will healing spirit. To heal. Fyrgrim up. Okay. So let's see. So 7. And I will spend a medal, and I will take the dodge action again, and I will make sure that people are in between myself and this crazy machine and its lightning. So turnover. That would be Fyrgrim next.
Fyrgrim, you are in its zone. You are no longer stunned. There's like a... Yeah.
I'm going to hit it with a hammer.
Just like... Go to bash the mechanism.
Yeah, we're gonna go hit with hammer and see what happens here.
Okay, cool. This thing is heavily armored and has a great defense.
Cool. Well, I have a average.
Are you not doing your defense trade battle rage thing? That's how you normally fought. Like you stacked defense and offense.
I know.
It's been a long time for Tom here, so
I know.
it's okay. I forgot rules too, and I had to quick pretend that I didn't forget them by giving extra narrative.
So I'll drop 2 and go up 2. So I'll go to great.
So you'll be on 4s.
I'll be on 4s. Here we go. 2 successes, 1 6, 1 5. So for damage, I'm on a 3. And I am crushing with crushing blow, which means that the machine is stunned. Obviously, it can't be stunned, but it is stunned.
And what was your total damage? Successes plus what?
Just plus 1. So okay. It's 3 total.
3 total. Okay, 3 total. You swing your hammer in like pretty true, but it seems to like just in the sort of whir of blades and motion, it just kind of clinks off to the side. You don't quite seem to penetrate its armor, and the stun has no effect on the contraption.
Clearly,
it has heavy armor.
I'm gonna arcane bolt the guy in the middle. I'm gonna metal and arcane bolt that guy.
Okay, I'm gonna add an additional because Arcane Bolt has like essentially a cast DN. It is 1 more difficult because you're trying to like blast through the spinning stuff. Okay.
Cool. So I have 1 higher DC, so I need 5s.
Obviously, it can't exceed 6 of it. It'd be locked in. Okay.
Yep. And let's see.
So you're meddling to do this. You're just like like jazz hands after the hammer.
Yep, none of that. It's either that or fireball, and I don't think anybody wants that. So.
No, I'm in here.
Oh no, it'd be all of us. It'd be all of a sudden. Let's see. Pool 4, focus 3. Cool.
I just now read chat. The Doomwheel creator now regrets carving a negative space waifu in the blade fan. Just that one, like.
1 success. I believe that is 1.
Just damage. Yeah, no, go straight to damage. All right. Cool.
Cool.
Take that, driver.
No, it's zapped. It has been zapped twice now. And just.
Okay. That is the Doomwheel.
All right. So the Doomwheel, I'm going to go ahead and roll for its lightning. All right. The lightning strikes true and seems a little bit juiced up. Everyone in its zone is gonna get hit, which I believe is everyone right now.
That's everybody.
Oh yeah.
You're protected on the inside, however. You're fine.
Yes.
It's going to be 6 electrical damage.
Okay.
Well, there isn't a damage type in this game, but like everyone's shocked for 6. Skig, are you still grounded?
I mean, I moved up, so if there was something to hug, I would have.
I love the tactic. So like you managed to like leap up onto like a crate or something or like some rubble.
Yes, like I would be on wood or something that's not conductive.
Yeah.
I would have bigger piece of metal near me if that's at all possible.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay. So
a gate's over here.
Because I love the tactic, you will not be stunned.
Okay.
Everyone else will be. But then it's also going to go ahead and use its ram prow. Myriad's sort of diversionary tactic to put himself sort of near it, but like a little bit off to the side, works just enough to where like the ram prow sort of attack heads towards Myriad. So it sort of drives and goes to smash into him. I do like their character sheet layout, by the way. Really, something we don't maybe talk about enough in RPGs is like a good character sheet layout. Everything in its right place here. All right. He is smashed for after armor. A huge chunk of damage. He takes 7.
Okay.
The ram prow turns out pretty deadly.
Sure.
It's serious business.
He doesn't look too good. Like he's kind of like where he has these like sort of reticulated joints and stuff like that. Like you see like one of his arms like kind of hanging like really low, like a scarecrow and stuff like that. And he's got his scythe off to the side. And you can see little like sparks of green soul stuff sort of fleeing out in little wispy ghosts. Next up,
Bigwinter.
All right, well, I killed a guy in the back. I'm currently stunned. There's a guy in the middle. How many other rats are skittering across this thing?
No, that's it. But you can look out into the street where Fyrgrim came from, and there is just a wake of dead clan rats.
Basically, it's kill the machine time.
Yeah.
Oh, it's smash the machine time.
I mean, you took care of its like sort of like extra attacks and like some bonuses from having the extra dude, which is pretty cool.
All right, we're gonna go smash the machine. I'm gonna smash the lightning thing this time. This might hurt, but
all right.
I think it's the weak
All
point.
right. So I'm going to count this as a called strike. So its defense is usually great. It's going to go up to superb. Trying to hit that.
Which means that as great, I need 5s.
Mm-hmm.
Doomwheel's legit, everybody. And you can thank Vince for fighting this thing because I was inspired about his story a while back about how great Doomwheels are on the table and how like nobody's ever mad about them.
They're super great.
All right, I'm choosing 6s over an extra success here. 4 6s.
Ooh.
So I ignore 4 armor and do 4 damage.
Okay, yeah. That you just punch all the way into its meaty stuff. You smash the bauble. I'm going to count rolls of 5 as rolls of 6s for the like bauble exploding off the front. So like that's the one where it electrocutes itself.
I got 0 5s.
No. Its roll of 5 and 6s on its table now are the one where it hurts itself. Sorry, Laanissa. So you've doubled its chances by sort of like it losing its sort of like aiming mechanism, essentially. In addition to like you basically like you've heavily damaged it. Yeah.
Nice.
And no metal because I'm stunned. So.
Ooh.
Cool.
Yeah, the secret to making to hampering the party is just giving everything stun. I found.
Sure.
Myriad.
Myriad is going to go to do his life tap, and he's just gonna like go to blast at the engineer with a spell. Same thing with the arcane bolt. It's going to be at a modifier. Where is it? So you'll be on DN5s. Okay. And he rolls. He managed to heal himself a little bit and deal a little bit of damage to the warlock, or the engineer. The engineer doesn't look like it's like hanging in there too good. As he sort of shoots this like this coalescing sort of like black purple beam through, and then you can see this like feedback loop come back through the spell. Sort of like green feedback loop come back, and he seems to regen some.
Okay.
I think that's everyone, yeah?
I believe that's everyone. Okay.
Right.
Yep.
All right. That's noonish.
All right. Myriad's on a 7 again. The Doomwheel is on a 5.
Fyrgrim?
6.
Laanissa? What number did you say? Your mic didn't pick it up.
Sorry, 10.
10. Okay. Fjormarr? Bigwinter? 7. Okay. Cool beans. All right. So myself. All right. So everybody's hurt. That's fine. By the way, when I healed last turn, Laanissa, you would have gotten healed as well. That 7 I did, that would have healed you as well. Because it was everybody in the zone.
Perfect.
I was in the zone with you. I don't think I called it out. I should have. That's my fault. So we're going to heal again. So we'll start with the action. We'll heal everybody. That's hot. Sigmar is with me against this foul machine. Yeah, I think we all took... Is anybody down more than 6 right now?
He managed to heal himself 3, so he would have been, but no, not down more than 6. He was down 7 before. 3, he's down 4. Myriad's down 4.
That's fine. I'm going to save the medal, and we'll just heal everybody for 5 instead of a lot more than that, because that's good enough, I think, for this purpose.
All right.
And I'll spend a medal. I'm not stunned. I can do that. I will. Let's see. I will revitalize Bigwinter. Clear your stun. I'll spend a medal and I'll revitalize Fyrgrim. Clear your stun. So that's 1, 2. I had to spend to do that. And I'll spend a medal and I will take the dodge action.
A casual 4 actions, not bad.
It's not. I can do more. Sigmar grants you much in the way of soul. It is through metal that you achieve medals. That is all I'll say. So, at any rate, okay. Cool. So then that's me done. Laanissa.
Well, Lanissa's had just about enough of this. I would like to slice and dice the engineer, please.
Okay.
Currently on a good?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm good. So it'll be 3 successes. 1 is a 6, which will give me +1 damage and a bleed. So that would be what, 4 damage plus bleed? Because it's just my successes +1 for my weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
So 5 damage and bleed. Sorry.
Yeah, the bleed functions as a poison, so it has some penalties. Like it's bleeding out, and so it's just like feeling wonky. How much damage?
5 total damage.
Oh, totally does it. You just like take your sickles and just like hack them both up underneath its ribs, and it just kind of like, it slumps over and like onto the controls, and like it sort of begins like wheeling in a couple different directions and spinning and starting like spit and crackle lightning out.
I would like to meddle and try and take control.
Cool. I was hoping you might. So you don't have like a full awareness of this like vehicle. Obviously, you don't know how to pilot it. So we're gonna go off an intuition, actually. So you can make an intuition check to just like kind of like try to rein it back in, unless you actually have like piloting like siege weapons or anything like that. Like,
No, not unless you let me pray to Cain. I can use my devotion, but I'll go intuition. That makes more sense.
mm-hmm. I mean, you could use maybe a crafting, but crafting tends to be a lot more like specific and focused. So I'm gonna go with intuition. You're just like pulling levers and like twisting knobs and stuff.
2 5s, a 1 and a 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna say like you don't manage to like stop it from moving, but you stop the like sort of haywired condition of like there might be random lightning. Like, and then you just like you see the button that looks like big and red, and you don't hit it. You know, like it's moving, but it's not like it's pretty much just kind of inertia moving. It's not, you know. It is heading towards that wall over there, though.
Cool. Big winner.
Well, it's heading towards the wall, and all the rats are dead. So I'm just gonna see how this goes.
All right.
Should have let this play out, I suspect, and see if
Yeah.
All right.
it's grown clear.
I'm just gonna enjoy the show.
All right, so Laanissa, this thing is going out of control. You don't quite know how to stop it, but you stop the sort of catastrophic meltdown phase. You have a decision. You could continue to play with the doodads and buttons and stuff, or you could like try to like just kind of leap and let this thing smash into a wall. Or you could like party.
Smash into a wall.
So many decisions.
Oh. I mean, praise be to Cain. Let's see if I can figure this one out. I'm gonna fiddle.
Oh shit. Okay.
Intuition again.
Yep.
Why isn't she jumping clear?
Myriad shrugs.
As it gets closer to the wall, I'm like,
Mhm.
whoa,
Yeah, exactly.
like waiting for it.
We're all just waiting for her to jump out the side, and it's not happening.
Yeah, it actually seems to like have like a little extra like motion as things get tenser, you know, and like oh snap, like it catches an extra grip, you know, in the ground. It just kind of seems to accelerate. What do you get?
She's speeding up.
What's that? A 2 and a 5?
A 2, a 5, and 2 6s.
Okay, yeah. You managed to like
Iffy.
no, like you actually managed to like you pull like one lever and like a lightning bolt like shoots out and like it just hits like a box somewhere, like a crate, and it just obliterates it. And like you like twist a knob and it like vents some steam and like you're just like and then you like finally like hit the right stuff and it just kind of like creaks to a stop, like and then like kind of taps the wall.
It doesn't smash into the wall.
No, it taps the wall. Like
All right.
And like
Winner's, aw.
You see a pair of witch elf arms peek out the side. Woohoo!
like both the arms come out. Yeah, it creaks to like kind of a gradual stop and like even like bounces and rolls back a little bit.
Sig, I'm afraid to start this again. Please help.
Yeah, I would just get clear.
Yeah, you can just
I
like
could go at any time.
you can pretty much just like walk, you like kind of like climb out of it now.
I leave it as a teenage boy who has to sell his first car, gently pat it, and I slowly walk back to the group.
I mean, you could try to pilot it. Like this is yours now. Look at me, I'm the captain now.
I mean, sure, why not? Let's pilot it.
Oh god. So like trying to stop it is a lot different from trying to like get it to go and do specific stuff. But yeah, okay.
I'm next to a wall. What could go wrong? I'll give it
I
one
thought it
go.
would smash, and then it didn't smash.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty surprised she managed to stop it. The controls on those things aren't what I would call intuitive.
So, intuition again to make it move.
You're really doing this. Okay, all right, yeah, go ahead.
Oh wait, Laanissa, I can help. I killed the guy in the back, and he was doing something. So, I take the guy that I killed that was on the back, and I put him in that fire that he was putting stuff in.
The billows like pump out like a green smog.
Nothing can go wrong
Thanks,
here.
thanks, Bigwinter.
I'm gonna go ahead and stand back.
A 1,
I will-
2 threes, and a
I will-
4. Right.
I did say I stand back, right? You heard?
Yeah,
that?
no, I heard the I stand back. Like Myria just kind of like holds position, but you know, so like all the blades begin to just like whir in like completely out of sync manner, and the thing sort of like wheels and careens in space, and then smashes into the wall. Were you wearing your seatbelt?
Imagine seatbelts on a Skaven vehicle.
Of course.
It's cheaper to have another Skaven pilot it next time than to make a seatbelt.
So, it smashes into the billows wall and like just grinds through it. Lightning just erupts out. Nobody is in the zone where the lightning erupts out to. I'm gonna go ahead and roll the d6. Yep. So it's just rather than like sort of an eruption out, you get this like sort of focused blast like off in a sort of straightforward direction. You crash it. Is the only way to describe it.
Nice.
Into
I run up and high five Laanissa, and I said I thought it was gonna smash, and then it didn't smash, but then we fixed it and it smashed, and then high five Laanissa.
I
so
accept the high five.
so Laanissa, I want you to go ahead and roll a luck check. As you recall, this is just a simple 2d6. This is a house rule.
4 and a 5.
All right. You're tossed clean from the vehicle as it smashes into the wall.
Okay, by
So
five, I mean
five on the way.
and high five.
Yeah, just like as
I
like
guess she was thrown from the wreckage, which is not surprising. So in which case, I'll catch her and high five. Like,
and Laanissa, you will take a mere 4 damage from the actual crash itself. Yeah, go ahead.
I would say she clearly, did the right thing, which was just roll 9s.
Mm-hmm. Well, that turned out better than it could have, to be honest. Okay. Well, I'll pull her up.
Like it's just
I
a pile of rubble. You now have a new entrance into the billows. Like,
Well, let's go check out what's inside. Good job. You made a new door. The old one was probably locked
I
up.
agree, Skig. It could have gone much worse.
It might not have blown up at all.
It might not have smashed. Yeah.
That was fun.
I mean, it's definitely good that thing exploded. Some other pilot could have come along and taken it. So you did well.
right. I need to use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back, everybody.
Sure.
Intermission.
Sorry, I took a long time playing with that. I just really wanted to try and drive
No,
it, so-
no, you
No
did
problem.
nothing
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah.
I do as a GM, I believe in the "Are you sure?" to inform the player that if you die here, it has moved out of my hands and into your hands. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like it's I don't believe in killing players. The players kill players, and sometimes like heinous dice. So I had to do the "Are you sure?" to like now like as the GM, I'm like, whatever happens here, like there is no plot armor, there is no takesy backsies. So all right, I'll be right back.
I am a little worried that my dice are going to cool off here, and I'm going to be completely useless here soon.
Nah. Yeah. Yes, Tom. What you missed last time is that. So I've gotten the light of. What's that?
Nothing. My internet, my laptop's not charging for some reason, and everybody went super robot. Sorry,
Gotcha. Have you fixed your laptop now?
I'm working on that. Continue.
Gotcha. So what
What
you
I
missed
missed.
last time is that I haven't got to use it. I've had it for a little while, but I haven't had occasion to use it. What happened during the last game is I have the Light of Sigmar spell now. And what the Light of Sigmar is it's an AoE for the whole zone, but it doesn't hit allies. It only hits enemies. And my devotion's max train now, so it's like 7 dice that I roll. And you can use metal to double your training. And so when we got jumped by we got jumped by 30 Skaven in this courtyard. It's like 10 storm vermin and 20 clan rats. Like we got attacked by units, okay, like real units. And so I used a soulfire, meddled off to double the training, and then meddled off to make it ignore armor and did 10 damage to everything in the entire area. Just nuke, like boom, flatlined everything.
That checks out. That works.
The cleansing fire of Sigmar ignores the righteous. That was good.
Sounds like it. Sounds good.
I got one giant done, by the way.
Did you really?
Yeah, sure. It don't take that long. Been working on it for this week.
Nice.
I may be able to get a second one done tomorrow. It's I'll get like good 20 hours of painting in on him between tonight and tomorrow, so it's probably enough time to get one done.
Is it just one of the small boys?
Yeah. This is just the little guys. This isn't the big guys.
Yeah.
I'm gonna finish the 4. I'm gonna finish the 4 little ones I have converted. Okay.
Yep.
And then I'm gonna do the 2 big ones. Convert them. I mean, even taking my absolute time, this army just doesn't take a while. Like this is a fast army to hobby, right? Like I said, I mean, you really could do this army in a weekend. It's a nice advantage of it. Like for those folks with limited amount of hobby time, giants. And then I'll do the 4 little ones. Then I want to do the 2 big ones, and then I'll do my last 2 little ones because I've got enough to I have other little ones already made, so I can just be playing with them, right, and getting games in.
Yeah.
Like I actually have enough giants right now to play this army without finishing a model. So.
By the way, Chuck, your new sort of rejiggered hobby space looks great. Last time you didn't have all the wall hangings and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Looks pretty fantastic.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, I see that 100 pair going into your power box there, so that's pretty cool too.
Well, Well, gotta be a little bit of a dungeon.
Got to maintain that ludo-narrative harmony.
There you go.
Heywoah back?
I'm not sure.
All right. There he is. All right. So you have I assume you enter through this new portal you have formed.
That is correct.
All right. You kind of climb up over some rubble. There's like little smoldering fires, and you're underlit sweetly by this orange light as this sort of purple and green flicker of combat sort of happens back and forth between the natural fogs that kind of beat back the jungle and the that sort of warp glow, like sort of battle for the ambience of the area. You see a network of scaffolding and like sort of furnaces all throughout, and you can see these sort of like tubes, these clear cylinders that are like pumping various chemicals in various different directions. You see strewn about various sort of intermixed species of human, dwarf, elf, like sort of worker in these almost like clean, like sort of medieval, fantastical like clean suits, you know, sort of scattered about. Like there's even the occasional like wood elf and like stuff, refusing to wear the clean suit, you know, scattered about, long dead, no survivors left, and the Skaven, you hear them before you even see them, the sort of chittering and clanking about, like they're not using the scaffolding directly, they're using the piping and all the network, just brachiating through the sort of like the inner workings, the guts of this great sort of like engine that keeps the city from being consumed by the wilderness outside.
Okay. Are they aware of us, or are we just kind of aware of them being
I'm
around? Like,
pretty
are they moving toward us?
Okay. You can sense some movement coming toward you, but the bulk of it, like it's just this rattling about. Like they are going about their business.
Okay. So, is there an area that seems to be like that would be the center of this place, or that we should go to? Like, is there a main boiler works or something like that? Like, where would be the area they would want? Because I think that's where we want to head.
Yeah, so you can actually just like, it's the classic like Jurassic Park thing, just like look up to your right, follow the tubes. Like you look at where these sort of clear cylinders are all sort of heading. To call it a heart is also an accurate visual representation of this thing bringing in all these arteries of chemicals and steam, sort of deep in the bowels of the billows. You can see it beyond. It's sort of up about 2 stories, and it's just churning and pumping, and you can see the steam sort of coming out, and you can see this fog getting pumped upward into the pipeworks above. You can see Skaven sort of littering about, and you have almost a warehouse floor beneath you if you're not in the scaffolding above, because it's a lot of supplies, and I mean it's got to be kept clear down here to move stuff. So you actually have this sort of like clear, open sort of warehouse floor, and most of the activity and motion's up above you in this scaffolding and these pipe works.
Okay.
But you do hear Skaven trying to closing on your position. You made a rather loud entrance.
Sure.
I mean, that's
I don't
fair.
understand what's the problem. I mean, that's fine. Well, I think we should keep moving toward the heart of the place. That's where they'll want to be. Try to pull as many as we can toward there.
Yeah.
All right.
Hastily move that direction.
All right. It's not even zones at this point because this area is like rather large. So you kind of like traverse this sort of ground floor, heading towards that to where eventually it looms up above you, and you felt that motion closing behind you, almost like in Pitch Black, you know, when you have that scene where it's like the light and you just know all the beasties are lurking and looming outside of this sort of like one singular zone you're in. I just assume Skig's about to do something sweet narratively and beat back the darkness that's about to close in pretty brutally, because you're well outnumbered now.
Yeah, sure. I mean, the goal here, okay, is to like draw as many into a small space as we can.
Yeah.
Okay. Like we're moving quickly.
AKA the kill zone.
Into the kill box. Yes, correct. Like we're gonna pull. Like we're trying to get toward the heart, to a more contained space until they're all surrounding us.
Yeah. So you, like I said, you have that pitch black moment where you can't pull any more in, or the waves will collapse on you. You're not quite to the heart when that moment happens. Like you can see it. It's rather than looking at it off in the distance, you can see it up above, you know, and that's when like this sort of like pillar of dark forms on all sides begins to like sort of coalesce and begin to collapse towards. You can almost imagine Skaven moving like a swarm of ants over the surfaces and stuff like that, collapsing in on you. You can see through the fog of battle and the mist of sort of the chemistry going on. You can see some pronounced figures outside the heart tinkering, performing mad science, but again, the corridor's beginning to close. All the like clan rats, all the gutter runners, all the stuff is coming in on you at this point, like a wave.
Once they're in there tight, then I'll hold the holy symbol up and at first just create light to give them a second of pause, and then
Yeah.
I will flare it to full life and unleash the wrath of Sigmar.
All right. So in that moment, like, time almost seems to stop as your holy symbol lights up, and you can see the hundreds upon hundreds of Skaven just piling on top of each other, blades drawn, looming in on you, almost about to engulf you. Like, there isn't even individual Skaven at this point. There's just tentacles of mounds of bodies looming in.
Gotcha. Yes. I mean, I will...
That's not Skaven.
I mean, all of the Skaven in whatever thing you construe as the immediate area are going to take 10 damage. I mean, that's what's going to happen there, and it's going to ignore all armor. Like, I'm going to flood the zone.
This consuming, almost phosphorus light just erupts out from your holy symbol with Skig at the center, and we get like a Frank Frazetta painting of Bigwinter, with his back standing like a pillar, like he would be like the structure of the castle there, and then like we have like Laanissa, we have Laanissa and Fyrgrim both like clinging to your robes, like the Frazetta babes, and then just like you fill up the entire sort of ground floor with this holy light, and just burn away Skaven into what it can only be described as ash around you. And so now it's almost like you get this like this lilting black snow with the green and the purple glow sort of fighting above you. And you can see now it is but you, a few dozen, sort of guards around the heart, and then that sort of like base amount of like whoever's doing the mad science. You can't quite make them out because they're like directly above you at this point. So you have some scaffolding around you. Yep. So you have some scaffolding around you that you can climb, like tube pipe works. There are some ladders, and then you essentially have these sort of like intersecting platforms. You have basically 4 stories to ascend. Each one is clearly going to be its own zone, and then the 5th zone is ascending, and then over is the heart.
Okay. So I guess we'll start making our way up toward there. I will skitter up onto the back of Bigwinter. Be like, well, I think we're going up there.
All right. So this will be an initiative. It's almost like the remaining Skaven are practically environmental hazards at this point as you move through zones. Sure. Should you choose not to address them whilst you fight, or rather, if you choose not to stop and fight them, it's just they're environmental hazards. You're just going to get hit and banged about just trying to move through. Because whilst the bulk of them are dead, there's plenty, and again, they're like brachiating through here.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I'll be open that my plan is going to be like I can fire off a lower version of that's still quite damaging, okay, to everybody, and like that should still be enough to cook most minor rats. If they're hardcore, it's not going to stop them, but it'll clear out the bulk of them without using like all the tricks.
Yeah, I assumed you used the Soulfire. You did the full combo. Correct. On the last one. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to go all the way. That's right. Okay, so initiative, Fyrgrim.
6.
Laanissa. What? I hate your headset. Say, my initiative is 10. There you go. It doesn't pick up 10. Right away. It takes a minute to come to life. See, there you go. 10. Okay, got it. If you start talking with some words first, then I won't hear that, but I'll hear the number at the end.
You gotta get used to doing the like the Obama and then say. Yeah.
Bigwinter.
I don't know if I'd pick up that habit. 6.
Does the environment happen on initiative, or is there anything else acting in the initiative at this moment?
So Myriad's on a 10 as well. He will defer initiative to everyone else. Like, they can all go before him if he had ties. The sort of ambient Skaven are going to operate on a 6.
Okay.
The willful Skaven are going to operate on an 8.
Okay, got it. Cool.
And then again, your motion through the zones, should you choose not to address, like we'll just say about a dozen Skaven per zone. it just becomes an environmental hazard.
Okay. Fyrgrim, I assume you can also help here because you can start blasting into other zones.
Right.
So, Laanissa.
Laanissa will start by working on the environmental hazard Skaven to help reduce that damage as we move forward as best I can. So I will split my attacks.
All right, so you're just gonna go to chop up like the Skaven that sort of were outside of the blast or like taking cover that are beginning to pile back in.
Yeah, I think our plan is like move a zone, kill, like that kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah, so there's about a dozen Skaven in Zone 1, coming at various angles.
What's their armor?
These ones are good.
All right. So 2 damage on one and 4 on another.
Both are still alive.
All right, I'll metal and do it again.
Okay.
Uh, 5 on one, 4 on the other.
That'll do it for both. Boom. 2 down.
Okay. Myself. Are we in this zone right now? This is the zone we're in, right?
Yeah, you're in Zone 1. Yep.
Okay.
So essentially, you're at the landing. There's like a ladder here, a ladder off kind of the side, and there's like various like piping and tubings you can climb.
Right on. I'll stand behind, or I'm up on Bigwinter's back. So if he moves, I move with him. And we call that the Stormteam Maneuver. And I'll fire off a normal Light of Sigmar.
Okay.
Good. So that'll be 4 damage to everything in the zone, to all the Skaven.
Yep.
Ignoring armor.
Yep. They're all lit up. They're all sort of like heavily damaged, like sort of husk and burnt and singed fur, but like they're all still standing. None of them look good.
That's fine. And then I'll certainly still spend a metal and dodge, like, because that's what I do all the time.
Okay.
Which in this case would be hunkering down into Bigwinter.
You just like kind of like collapse on his back, like
Yeah, exactly.
to where he is all that they see, and like you know, like you're even hidden between his shoulder blades, you know, like.
Correct. Yeah. That would be the active Skaven on an 8.
All right. The active Skaven, you see like sparks flying up above and some crazy stuff. You know, these stories up and then off to the side.
Good.
Nothing seems to happen. They might be, yeah.
Okay. I skipped Myriad, but Myriad has a turn in here. Sorry.
Myriad is going to try to. He's got a slashing attack. We'll go ahead and roll a luck check for him. 10. I'd say he can size up 3 Skaven and 1 slash attack. Because you burnt like a bunch of damage, he reaps 3 of them.
Sure. Okay. Fyrgrim.
Awesome.
Yeah, go.
The next zone, I'm gonna fireball.
Yosh! All right. You just like look up at that sort of like landing in the platform and just like hurl a fireball up.
Sure. Let's see what happens.
I'll let you handle your flavor text when the time comes.
Let's go for 2 successes. Yes, 2 successes.
All right. It burninates them. They have lower.
Just 2 damage, and it creates a minor hazard. And then I will metal.
Okay.
And stoke the flames.
Oh, nice combo.
And that will kick it to a major hazard. And that will last 4 additional rounds.
So the party has
yeah.
the party has to move through that like slag pit you've just created.
Yeah, sorry guys.
Awesome.
That's gonna be a challenge. Okay. Well, that's fine. We'll literally burn that bridge when we get to it, I guess.
Mhm.
So, Bigwinter.
Yeah, go ahead, Bigwinter. Go ahead.
Okay, I thought you were like, I thought you had something to add.
No.
All right.
What type of hazard is that now?
Major.
Okay.
So I'm running forward, obviously, and all the Skaven around us are very wounded from Vince's thing or dead because of the fire up ahead.
The Skaven in the next zone are dying from the
They're
fire.
basically dead. Yeah.
We
Okay.
still have 7 Skaven left in the zone we're in.
I'm gonna attack the 2 in front of me because the ones in front of me are hindering my progress. What's their defense?
On this zone, they're good.
So I'm looking for 3s.
Yep, because you're great, right?
Like a million.
Yeah. They have.
7 successes and I ignored 2 armor.
Yeah, they each have like 2 hit points apiece. So I'd say you can like in one good thrust attack skewer 2 Skaven.
Oh, okay, sure. I won't even. Are there any more in front of me, or can I keep like running?
I'd
forward?
say that you've reduced them by an adequate amount to not invoke a hazard moving just through the zone. The problem is
right now we are going to run into the major hazard that Fyrgrim just created. As it will literally
Right.
go on
How big is this major hazard?
I mean, it'll be fine. You increase 10 to 1 step.
By the way, I enjoy being the exploding ogre with this skig on my back who just keeps exploding.
so
Okay.
This is probably.
So here's the good news. Here's the good news. I go whoop, and turn it off when we go to walk through because I have control for 4 turns.
yes. So
yes.
you got to get around to your turn again.
Yeah,
Yes.
so we can't
Yeah.
go in there.
It'll be fine. It'll be
Okay.
fine.
Okay.
It'll be fine.
Okay. All right. So you can essentially like pass initiative, and then Fyrgrim turns it off. All of Zone 2 will be dead. Like all the Skaven up there are just dead. Like,
Okay.
All right, we're going.
oh, you're going anyway. Okay.
No, we'll have to wait till next round. I think is the point. He'll turn it off next round, and then we can go in.
Well, here's a question: how big is that zone?
You'll take 3 damage moving into it, and I'm going to say Skig will take but 1, using you as like a shield from the heat pit. that you're
What if
about
I
to-
do a mighty leap?
Oh.
Are you
Oh,
trying
wait,
to?
So I'm at least not like walking in molten metal. Oh
So-
wait, then I have to land, don't I? I think of that.
What are you trying to do?
Oh wait,
Okay.
All right. Well, that's new initiative anyway. So there you go.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Environmental Skaven. I lied. I'm sorry. Environmental Skaven. Then go with the bottom.
Yeah. So
We have a few still in our area.
Yep. You have 5.
oh yeah. Oh, I suppose we have a few, and I have to wait anyway, so I might as well kill him.
Oh yeah, yeah. If you wanted to meddle and like kill more on your turn, you certainly could have. Yeah. There's a lot more bad guys.
So next initiative.
Nope. My environmental Skaven go then. If you're not meddling. All right.
Yep.
There's 5 of you. Each of you are getting it. I'm sorry. Skig, you're not getting attacked at all because you're just so well concealed. Bigwinter's getting attacked twice. Bigwinter, what's your defense?
My defense is good.
Would be 2 damage coming in for the first. Sorry, 3 damage coming in for the first. 2 damage coming in for the second.
All right, I take 1.
Laanissa.
Laanissa is average.
Ooh, okay. Sorry, I hit you better. You're gonna take 6. Sorry. From the one that attacks you, they just like leap down off of a rafter and just like plunge a dagger like straight into your collarbone.
Oh, I have plans for that one now.
Myriad also takes a ass whooping, which would be 5. Okay. Fyrgrim. What's your armor? Or your defense, sorry.
My defense is great.
So they need 5s. I rolled well, so it's 4.
4 damage.
So then, yeah, you're don't forget your armor subtracts that.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, cool. Environmental Skaven done.
Yep. Yeah, and then the ones on the you can hear movement in the scaffolding up above, almost as if the ones that were getting slagged maybe moved elsewhere. And then, yeah.
Right on. Okay.
Cool.
That's noonish. Fyrgrim.
7.
Laanissa.
Laanissa has an 8.
Bigwinter.
6.
Environmental Skaven.
Environmental Skaven get a 6. They tie will go to player characters.
Active Skaven.
Active Skaven get an 8.
And Myriad.
Myriad gets a 7.
Okay. Let's see. My go. We should start moving up to the next zone if you can make that fire go off. So I will. Everybody's taking a little bit of damage, so we're going to do a little bit of healing. Pretty good. Enough. Everybody heals 4. And then there are still some Skaven in our zone, right?
There are still all 5 of them, yeah.
Okay. Then we are going to metal, and we will
Burninate.
light of stick. What's that?
Burninate the
Yeah,
countryside.
burninate the countryside. Yes, exactly. 3 ignoring armor.
I believe they each had 2 left, so you burned them all down.
Okay. And then I do not want to spend any more metal, so I will not take the dodge action, but I will, still hide in Bigwinter.
I will hide in Bigwinter.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The beginning of a Robert Frost poem.
Indeed. Brings us to Laanissa.
So all of these Skaven are dead now in our zone.
Yep.
Okay. I will spend my action then, picking up the one that just stabbed me really well, and I pull out a ear of tinfoil wrapped corn, shove it in its body, and I throw it in the fire. That's my turn.
Wow. Callback.
Yeah, the supreme callback.
I
Okay.
have one more ear of corn, but yep, that's what I'm doing.
You can hear the corn gradually begin to begin to pop.
Brings us to Fyrgrim. Do you want to ready to move up behind us when we move into the next zone? Laanissa, you could have done that as well.
Yeah, I will ready that.
Because you and Fyrgrim are on the same initiative, so he could if you're okay with that, Meth, that's his action. He would still have
Party has, as far as I'm concerned, Suikoden style combat tactics when they align on the same action. You get to do fastball specials and team actions and shit.
Cool. Okay, so yeah, Fyrgrim, you're next.
Sounds great. I'll turn it off.
Awesome.
That's like at will, so then you get to go, right? Yeah.
Sure. I'm not sure. So
I'm just gonna say that it's like I'm just gonna use some D&D / Palladium books rules. Turning off a spell, provided it's on your turn, is just like you cancel it. It's fine. You don't have to reverse read the incantation. It's just gone.
I'm gonna incandescent form.
You're a glow stick at a rave.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. I am indeed for 2 rounds a glow stick and a rave, or 3 rounds. Sorry.
Cool.
Cool. The weird slag pit that you've created up ahead. It's not a major hazard, but there are some like pitfalls you have to move cautiously because like some of the metal has burnt away and stuff. But
for the most part, we can move up.
Yeah, but for the most part, you can move up. You're free of any Skaven hazard and environmental hazard previously created by Fyrgrim. Zone 2 is clear, for all intents and purposes, clear.
Okay, cool. Then that brings us to the active bad guy Skaven that I think are just up there chanting or doing some shit.
Yeah, they're trying to like complete the ritual or whatever, right? Like,
right. They're not actively attacking us at this exact moment.
Right. So that I'm gonna write another tally mark down for them. And then who's up? Myriad, I believe, right?
Yeah. That would be Myriad next.
Yeah.
Right.
Myriad's going to move into the third zone, and take on the ambush, kind of lying in wait.
Okay.
So he moves into a hazard. You healed everybody for an amount, right?
Yep. He should be healed. I mean, assuming unless he got rocked by something I wasn't aware of.
No. I mean, he got hit pretty good for one thing, but like you healed him. She'll take that. He will burn metal, and he is just going to reap.
Cool.
Scythes, by the way, those of you playing the home game, awesome weapons in Soulbound. They figured it out. Oh, shit, no, he's going to cast a spell instead. A spell would be way better for the party right here. Okay. He goes up and casts the actual Soul Reaper spell, and you see an explosion of necrotic energy in the zone. So he's gonna go ahead and do that instead. I forgot he had this.
Arcane spells that target the zone. The drawback: your party's often in the zone.
Right.
But not this time.
For a whopping 5 successes.
Nice. Well done. Well done.
So he explodes a bunch of them, but importantly, their defense is decreased 1 step as well as the soul ghosts rip through their bodies, dealing damage and haunting them. Like, you just see this, like, okay, it's described awesome on the War Scroll. It's just bad in the game. Like, he basically runs up there, like, and then just, like, pulls the cork off of one of these vials and just, like, channels all the ghost energy and explodes out.
It's amazing.
Cool. Awesome. Anything else from him?
No, he doesn't have a high soul value, ironically.
Yeah, sure. And then Bigwinter, rounding us out.
Forward.
I'd imagine it's because all the souls are in conflict, you know, and that he himself doesn't have his own identity.
Makes sense. There is nothing in Zone 2, so we move up into Zone 2.
Yep.
Then that technically rounding out the turn is the environmental Skaven, which I think is whatever's left with in Zone 3 with...
Yeah, they're going to pile on him. He draws complete aggro with the sweet explodey ghost spell. Their defense is down, but their attack is not, and they're basically going to pile on. They're Skaven, so they're attacking, like, all of them are able to like get in their attacks. They like pile in and like just at all
Sure.
angles on him.
We get it. We've seen this before a few times.
Right, they need 5s against him, and he's got some solid armor. Sorry, everybody.
You're fine. All good.
Oh, it's all good.
Roll that beautiful beam footage.
His armor is really paying dividends because of the Lumen Scythe.
Yeah, I mean, armor's pretty good in this game. It's like
He takes an ass kicking.
essential.
He takes an ass kicking on that one though. One Skaven like just gets up in there and like tags his spine with a dagger, as it basically rolls hot on every die and bypasses his armor. Halfway through all the Skaven attacks, everybody. Thank you for sitting in with me.
Woohoo.
Take one there.
While you're rolling, somebody in the chat asked if I'm using oil paints on the giants. The answer is yes. It's a mix of oil paints and acrylics. Like oils for the big flesh area. It's just too easy. Just too much fun.
All right, his armor did some work. A lot of three damage attacks from the Skaven, which is Exaxes on account of the Lumen Scythe. And so he's basically just like goes up there, cuts a swath in them, and then he's just like spinning the scythe around like classic karate movie, like deflecting blows and stuff. And then they're just like stabbing him in the back. And the ones that like get through are literally just all like the back stabs. He weathers the storm. He's once again like sort of like his body's sort of disjointed and slinky, like a slinky, and just like kind of hanging, and he's like hanging on there kind of barely at this point. But
Okay.
I could have
let's go.
totally dramatically killed him off, but if I
That would've
rolled
been
better.
Or death, but that's all right. Well, let's go help him out. Looks like our buddy needs some assistance. That's initiative.
You'll note that there's 16 Skaven up there. Like just all like they're upside down on the bottom of the grating. They're climbing up over ladders, climbing up over each other.
Fyrgrim. Fyrgrim.
I'm thinking.
Your initiative.
Oh.
You'll have more time to think about your turn. What'd you say?
10.
10. Good roll. Laanissa.
Lanissa's 12.
Bigwinter.
7.
Okay. Environmental Skaven.
Environmental Skaven get a 4.
Okay.
Sorry, 5.
Okay. Active Skaven.
Active Skaven get a 8.
And Myriad.
He also gets an 8. We'll tie break him in over the Skaven, though he loses to player tiebreakers.
If that's fine. Okay. Laanissa. Laanissa.
Gonna go help Myriad split my attacks here.
So Myriad is in our zone. Is that correct?
No,
He's in the
up
third zone.
next zone.
Yeah.
We're all in 2. He's up in 3 alone, fighting all 16 Skaven.
Yep. So sorry, I should say I'm moving into 3 and I'm meddling to attack. Uh, 6 damage plus bleed on one, and 3 damage plus bleed on another.
So with the 6 damage, I'm going to say you actually lop off like 2 Skaven heads because they're so condensed and like they're actually climbing. You just like manage to like pow, you get 2 of them. And then the other one just kills 1. So you managed to kill 3 Skaven.
Cool.
And I'd imagine it's the ones that are exactly on his back, you know, because he climbed up the ladder and stuff. So you're just like, you're almost at like the top of the ladder, and you're just hacking through these ones that like managed to like stick in on him.
Sure.
Well, let's see if I can Wraith. Hold on.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. Wraith it up.
Yeah, that Holy Havoc hand means that's a 6. So
It
I'm gonna
does,
attack again, please.
Uh-oh. We got a crate.
Oh, Kraith. Yeah.
Chop, chop, chop.
So 4 damage on one,
Yep, dead.
and then 3 damage plus bleed on the other.
Dead. So 2 more dead.
Awesome.
Yeah, you just go up and you're just a dervish of murder.
Down to 11. Well done. My turn. My only action right now will be to react to Bigwinter moving into the zone.
Okay.
So effectively, I hold or whatever, ready. It's called the react action. Brings us to Fyrgrim on a 10.
I will start boldly singing a ballad.
Yeah.
Brave Sir
Forgot
Robin.
about ballads. Been a while since we fucking had a ballad. Where was this action?
You know.
He just starts the guttural like Hugh Mongolian like chanting, just like oh.
2 successes, so plus 2 damage. Everybody in zone.
Awesome. We're gonna move up
Fantastic.
into the next zone.
Yes.
Okay.
Whoever's in my zone.
Yeah, so like we've got like the try like the back to back like like Triforce of murder, like as you all like kind of Myriad got like a foothold up there, and then you've all kind of like rallied around him, and like the Skaven are just pouring in.
And I'll medal for the fun of it.
Bound and
Sure.
down.
You get 1 back every round. Why the heck not?
Isn't it if you're at 0 you get 1 back? Like you don't automatically get 1 back.
Yes.
It's like
Yeah. You don't get one. You get one when you
are at 0.
Right. I'm an at. What's their defenses?
Up here they were great, but they're now good because Myriad exploded them with spooky ghosts.
3 successes, so we're gonna go for 6 damage.
You just turn a Skaven into a ragdoll, and like you smash him, you hit him with such a force, he splits off and hits another Skaven, and they both just go over the banister and topple to their death.
Nice. 9 left.
Excellent.
Brings us to Myriad.
Myriad has an opportunity to try to soul steal some of them. He's going to go to cut down another swath. The reaping must continue. Soul Reapers are such sweet ass models, and yet kind of sad.
They're not melee heroes.
If they do 2 things bad instead of like 1 thing great and then accidentally cast or something like that.
Look, Soulbound is the game where ludonarrative dissonance comes to die, where everybody gets to be what they should be in the game. Stormcast are incredible. Bone Reapers are amazing. Like Fire Slayers summon fire and do cool stuff. Witch Elves chop through 1,000 people and remain standing. Soulbound is how the game should feel, but can't because it's a war game. But this game makes it real.
Yeah, yeah.
Ogres feel like anvils.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're like a freaking brick house with a giant spear on the front.
Yeah. He reaps another 3, just like culls them. He takes like the pronounced step forward as he like wheels the scythe around his head and then just like reaps through 3, and it's on the backhand, and he's all disjointed and like looks like one of those sweet like Evangelion robots that when they start to like, you know.
Nice. What do you get? 3?
Yeah, he killed 3 more.
Okay, down to 6. That brings us to active Skaven.
I'm gonna take my tally mark.
3 ticks. Bigwinter.
What?
Your go. Your turn.
+2 damage.
Yep.
Yeah,
that was an extra reaped. There are 5 left.
there are 5 left. Right
+2 damage.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to. Are we like kind of narrativing the sweeping?
If you do they have like 1 hit point left apiece. The thing is the reaping thing goes off of 6s, and like the +2 damage, I just turned it into a die modifier on one of his 4s to reap an extra. Is what I did there. So like you could turn it into a die modifier if you have some big effect. If you kill for enough, I'm just gonna have you kill an extra one because it's such a swarm thing going on right now that there's like you're practically hitting 2 bodies at some point. If
you kind of can't help but hit more than sure. I'll do a big attack in that case.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you said these guys are their defense has been lowered to good.
They were great. They're down to good on account of haunted by spooky ghosts.
Okay.
The spooky ghost explosion that Soul Reaper War Scroll spell is.
In which case, because of the +2 damage, I did 7 damage.
That's a paddling. Did you roll a 6 in there or something?
No 6s.
Okay. I'm gonna say you get 2. So,
all right.
Like you just like it's a pike. Pikes are super long. I'm gonna even say like you kind of shoulder smash one out the way to like line up the pike and kill the other. So,
which means there's 3 left.
3 remaining.
I will attack again. That's my medal. This one's 7 damage, but ignoring 2 armor.
I'm gonna give you the same 2, so 1 remains.
All right. Damn, couldn't quite.
Sorry, bud. At this,
it was very unlikely.
If you went into double digits, I'd let you kill them all. So there's like the one Skaven sort of like on the ladder, you know, that goes up to the other thing. The trigger for your hold action has occurred, Skig?
Yep, it sure has. And I'm not going to. There's 1 guy left in this zone. My action this round will just be to just take the dodge action, and I'm gonna chill out. Everybody seems okay, right? Or like, how is let me pause on that. How's Myriad at?
Myriad's
okay.
on two.
Okay, never mind. I want to take the dodge. I'm gonna heal.
He got the crap kicked out of him with a 3 armor.
Yeah, that's fine. Healing for 4.
Okay.
Everybody heals for 4. So if anybody's wounded, everybody heals for 4.
Okay.
And that's my only action. Again, staying tight to Bigwinter.
Cool. He's up to like half health, or half, little more than half health.
Cool. I mean, he can heal himself as well, so I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. That brings us to environmental Skaven.
Okay, so the single Skaven is going to leap at Myriad, who's been like sort of the vanguard, the forward thrust, and go to like try to like chop him up, and then the other ones up above are going to do their thing. Manages to get a damage on him.
Okay.
So manages to, like get past his scythe and stab him. You can hear some shuffling around up on the essentially two floors up above you, and then that second floor is the last floor, but then there's some a distance horizontally, right?
So we're on 3. Is the active Skaven in zone 5?
Yeah. So you're in 3. There is a zone 4 which is directly above you, and then zone 5 is over toward the heart, horizontally moves over.
Okay. Whatever they're doing up there is probably not good. Do we want to just push through and pull everybody up into that zone? Start trying to disrupt that?
Let's go.
Okay,
Yeah.
Let's push hard. Everybody, we're just gonna make a run for it.
All right.
Okay. That's the bottom round, so that's initiative. So.
Yep.
I can just fireball.
Yeah, sure. I mean, if we want to, we could just depending on how initiative shakes out, we could just react down below you or whatever, and you can boom blast that zone.
That's probably not a good idea.
Or you could just blast zone 4 or something like that to clear out some space to give us some running room, right?
Mm-hmm.
So whatever works. Okay, so okay. Fyrgrim,
6.
Laanissa,
This is 11.
Bigwinter,
8.
okay. Environmental Skaven,
They're on a 6.
active Skaven,
They're on a 9.
Okay.
And Myriad's on a 7.
okay. Myself, I'm going to do the same thing I did last time. Just my action is to wait. Basically hold for Bigwinter, right? And then that brings us to Laanissa.
I will wait and see what Fyrgrim does.
Okay. Brings us to active Skaven on a 9.
I'll take my hash mark.
4th tick. Brings us to Bigwinter on an 8.
Proceed. I use my movement.
Okay.
All right. So you're on zone 3. You move into zone 4. You're into zone 4. You move into this hazardous zone. The Skaven essentially are waiting in ambush, and they just bleh, and they stab in at you for 3 damage. And they've got traps.
14.
They have traps and stuff set too, so it's not just that 3 of them stab you. There's just a whole cavalcade of action as you kind of break that plane. You're up now onto the mightiest of the scaffoldings. It's the widest plane. It's got the most doodadery around for the billows and the networks. You can see the pipes kind of come across and coalesce at various points behind you with valves and stuff like that. But then before you, sort of into the next zone, you can see the heart. You can see a couple of warlocks, a couple of engineers. You actually see a pair of Stormfiends just kind of holding the line. And you can see a rippling pool of warp energy off to the side, and they're currently sort of trying to crack into that heart. And you see these familiar syringes with the these familiar syringes where they have them essentially bigger versions of them pushed into these arteries and stuff, and they're with the plungers, and they have a couple of them already plunged in. You might count there 4 of them plunged into the heart, as if they've already kind of began to. And you can see this usual sort of purple mist that wreaths the city. Parts of it are beginning to turn into that sort of noxious, weird stuff you've seen in the reanimated corpses from before.
Ooh, this must be stopped.
Indeed. But what else you? I mean, you moved. You still got a lot of stuff. Still your turn.
And then you take the 3 damage. Armor is relevant.
Yeah, I'm going straight. We're going straight ahead. I want to get to these syringes and pull them out and start eating these guys and stuff. So
meddling 4th type thing, or
yeah.
Okay. So you move into the ambush that was set by the other Skaven that had been pulling up. I lied to you. There weren't 12 at every floor. There was actually 13, and a hanging Skaven was continuing to move upward.
Right.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
So that
When you
actually...
said there were 12 Skaven, I must admit, doubt.
So there's actually 10. There's 10 sort of like ambient Skaven. These are only now like the like awesome assassins, right? There are 10 of them. These are like the primo. Like they were boss modes on the ship before. Like it's 10 of those now. Okay. They had set an ambush into this zone. They had kind of all pulled their numbers up. So you have 10 of them sitting in zone 5. You've got the pair of warlocks, pair of fiends, pair of engineers, and then you have this like the syringes, and then I might have glossed over it a little bit. There's a pool of coalescing like warp energy off to the side.
2 Stormfiends, 2 warlocks, 2 engineers, and 10 gutter runners.
Pretty much
what we're looking at.
Yeah.
10 black Skaven.
All right, we're gonna need the
10
mighty
ninja rats.
explosive
We'll call them
power
what they
bomb.
are. It's 10 ninja rats. And then you have the sort of 7 Skaven back in the 4th zone.
Yeah, sure.
Which
Well,
is the
hey.
one from the floor below, and then the 6 that hadn't pulled back on.
Sure. I mean, Fyrgrim can easily fireball into that zone now if he wants, and then move through or whatever. Like he's got choices. Okay. So now all the reacts happen. Well, unless you're going to do anything, I guess. Yeah, you're in here, so if you wanted to attack people, yeah, so it's all you. Like you meddled once to get here, so I don't know if you
Oh
want
yeah,
to.
and then I can attack at the end of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
One.
ninja rat. I forgot. You do take 3 damage for moving into the hazard zone of the ninja rat as well. So, because zone 4 and then into zone 5, so it's 6 damage total.
He's pulling these traps, though, right? People who follow on.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm essentially like a trap springer up here.
Yeah, you're body blocking the traps.
Which Skaven are the ones holding the syringes? What type of Skavens?
It's actually engineers. The syringes are already in. They have a 5th and final syringe, and there's 2 engineers like currently like pulling it up and like moving it toward it, and they're doing their like delicate business. There's a 5th and final syringe.
Oh, I'm smashing that.
All right. Yeah, you're in that zone, so it's assumed that you've like continued your movement, and like you're flanked by 2 Stormfiends at this point because you kind of go past.
Yeah, like he goes straight into the middle of all this, right?
Yeah,
we're in the dark heart of the.
Yeah. Look, I'm.
Yeah, like you could grab a cup and scoop. You could grab a cup and scoop up some warp energy pool and like take a sip. And yeah, you're right in the heart of this. Sorry, I cut you off while speaking, but continue.
No, I'm tactically positioning us in the center so Skig can destroy Neo Tokyo again.
If we do that, that's the last time, by the way. That's it.
Seems like a good one.
The tank is empty.
Don't worry,
Yeah,
I got
I'm attacking the dudes. I'm attacking the dudes that have the syringe. I rolled a lot of damage.
Yeah. So they're on just great defense for the engineers. They have like cool bio rigs and stuff.
So this is 4 6s and 6 damage.
Oh yeah, that 4 6s completely ignores their really good armor. For straight up, you managed to like skewer one of them good, and like he's like he's no longer holding the syringe, but the other one's like got it, and the one that you have skewered good is hanging on by a thread.
Okay.
But they're not both handling the syringe currently because you got him pinned with a pike.
Nice.
Okay. Laanissa, you had. You were waiting for Fyrgrim, weren't you? Okay. So then myself. Well, hey, the nighttime is the right time. So, Exactly. Let's go boom. This is an abomination and must be destroyed by holy fire. Let Sigmar's judgment fall upon all of you. Quake before the might of the heavens. And it'll be 10 damage that ignores all armor to everybody.
All right. Both engineers are like quelled. Both warlocks are toast. Both Stormfiends still remain, and all of the ninja rats are gone.
Okay.
So it's essentially 2 Stormfiends and like a pool.
Okay. Those 2 Stormfiends are going to do the business to us, so I just want you to get ready for that. What are they armed with? What's on the end of their arms?
Oh, it's the rattling guns again because they're really, really fun for me as the GM.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's the best case scenario. I'm kind of happy about that. There were worse outcomes.
Like if they were shock gauntlets or something, I would be very concerned.
That they're just like, and they just like wade into us. I'm like, oh no.
There's a pool.
Bigwinter chuckles. I'm in danger.
Sure. Yeah, sure. I understand. Okay. More could come. We got to shut that off. We can't do everything at once. Okay. Look, it's about present threats, Meth.
Oh, and the syringe is doing the slow motion ping, 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 like back and forth, and it's like slowly rattling like a coin, sort of bottoming out. Who's up next?
Okay. So that was Bigwinter, brings us to Myriad.
Myriad's got to sap the shit out of one of these things near him to heal some extra, so he's going to go ahead and do that. Because you still have the 7 just rando Skavens.
In Zone 4, yeah. He's still back in 3, right?
Yeah, he'll move up in metal then. And then just zap. Well, he could actually...
He could just zap the last dude. There was one guy still standing in Zone 3. He could just suck that dude's life dry to heal himself and then metal up to that top zone.
Yep, that's what he'll do. So he's going to zap.
Pocket Skaven.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, pocket Skaven. Just... he goes full... Yeah, he goes full Winifred Sanderson sister and just zaps it with the energies. He hits it for 5 damage. He's back to full now. 1 off of full, which is plenty good. So he just blasts that one, and then he metals up, and now he's in Zone 4.
Okay.
Who's in Zone
4?
Myriad has moved into Zone 4 with everybody. There are 6.
Metal, he can be in Zone 5 because you can move one zone without nothing.
Yeah, So he'll metal into 5. He'll metal into 5, and now he's into 5, and he's ready to reap whatever comes out that pool.
That means that brings us finally to Fyrgrim, and there is currently no one in 4. If you want to level all those guys and then come up to join us. Because if not,
no. 4 has the random other 6 just lame Skaven.
Yeah, I understand. I'm saying no good guys are in Zone 4.
Yeah, you could.
He can free fireball into that zone without hitting us. Is the point?
Well, because Laanissa still down in 3.
No, I'm there.
Yeah.
I thought you were in 3. You're not in 3?
Yeah.
You're
yeah. Not. I didn't know. I didn't. Okay, so I'm in 3.
3 points of damage. Everything in the zone.
How much?
Got it. Right.
3.
Okay. They seem half good.
Do it again.
I'll metal and do it again.
Yeah! Boom, boom.
Bitch. I only got 2.
I think you got 3.
Well, there is an environmental hazard that gets automatically created, remember? So they all just burn to death immediately.
Aren't they just dead next turn when they take one?
It's now, so literally they just burn to death.
Okay, the only difference is that you got to take 1 point of damage, Laanissa now moving into Zone 5.
There you go.
That's fair.
Yeah, you're going to...
I just stretched out their death, so they didn't die in the fire.
Yeah, no, they're dying as Lanissa's running past them, which is more thematic.
Mm-hmm.
They had to burn to death on camera.
Right. Okay. All right. So then, anything else, Fyrgrim? I assume you don't want to move up into the fire. Are you staying in zone 3 for now, or are you going to move up into the fire?
I'm cool.
All right, just get your butt up here next time, because again, Stormfiends. So that brings us to then Laanissa's react.
So take 1 damage just by running through. Right?
Yeah, you run through and you can essentially get into 5, and then.
Oh, actually, you know what? I'll move through. I'll move through.
Take your 1. Burn an 8. Yeah.
I'm incandescent. I'm good.
All right.
Yep,
Fire
I'll
resistant.
move through. So now that I'm in the zone with the Stormfiends, am I able to metal and attack them?
So you'll have to move metal, and then you'll be able to attack them directly without metal. Like, you spent the metal to get the extra move.
Yeah.
Like, effectively, you're meddling to move,
Right.
taking your normal move, and you can attack.
Yeah, you have like a move and attack essentially, so you metal to get into. Yeah. Yeah, so you have 2 Stormfiends. They're decently damaged. Stormfiends have like a good chunk of wounds. They have really good armor. They took 10. It's almost like they're at about half, but they have some armor.
Focus my attention on 1.
Okay.
Am I in his zone?
No, you're in zone 4. Unless you also like had an extra metal you
No,
have
I
to move
couldn't.
again.
You said they're really good right now?
Oh, Stormfiends are great on defense and superb on murder.
It's a good thing I've been attacking and keep bumping up.
I should say these Royal Guard Stormfiend have great defense.
Sure.
That'll be 8 damage and bleed on one of them.
8 damage and bleed. All right.
Big.
Would would anyone like to try and roll my Kraith?
Oh, you need to roll that, man. You own your crate. We're not rolling that for you. You can do it. We believe in you.
I'm trying to give the love out, you know?
No. We've got our own thing. This is
No.
your thing.
You need to lead
No
into it.
Kraith. No Kraith this time.
I mean, you got 1, and that was a pretty good one to get. It meant you got up here before the 5th syringe, which would have been the baddest news ever. So.
Indeed. Okay. Which then brings us to there are no more environmental Skaven.
They're all dead.
So unless something's happening there, but other than that, yeah, if they're all dead, then that brings us to the bottom of the round, and that's new and ish.
My Willful Skaven didn't do.
They did. They had the 9. Remember, we went after them when we got up here. They had already acted.
They put in their. Yep. Okay, bottom of the turn 0. You see the pool ripple, and something's about to come through it. Okay. And I really got to use the restroom. Sorry, everybody.
You go ahead. We'll get some new initiative and go.
It's all good.
All right. Speaking of, generate me some new initiative, my dudes.
6.
And
Laanissa is a 10.
Sorry, Fyrgrim, you said 10. Nice.
Yeah.
Hot roll. Laanissa, you said what?
Also a 10.
Nice. Bigwinter?
6.
6. Okay. And then we don't know any of the bad guys or Myriad. Okay, cool. Good stuff.
Coming through that pool of goo.
it's clearly a help it.
At this point, why not?
Yeah, sure.
My tank is on empty here with all of that sweet stuff, so just so we're all clear, I don't have another big boom in me.
So go eat some of the popcorn. It should be ready. It's a hot meal. It counts.
Yeah. We're gonna need to spend like a good couple days eating some good meals, and then we'll be back to fine.
Yeah.
Because we've used like 4 Soulfire in this adventure.
He keeps throwing so much Skaven at us.
So many.
I have 1 bottle of acid I've been saving. Now's the time.
Well, we're fortunate that I guess we're fortunate I happened to pick up this supernova trick. So there you go.
Oh yeah, I don't. I mean, the first time you did it, I think took meth back, but it's like he's making us
Sure.
drain it every time.
Sure.
All right. There are no more environmental Skaven. They have been kiboshed.
Okay, we're missing Tom and
Cool.
Joe.
Willful Skaven at an 8.
There you go. They're back. Okay.
Uh,
Willful Skaven at an 8. Okay, gotcha.
Myriad is also an 8, so it's gonna go tie. He'll tiebreaker
Yep.
him.
Sounds good. Okay. So myself, my action is going to be to I'll do my action as react again. Past actually I'll like react is just an action, so technically you can delay any part of your turn. So whatever, it doesn't matter. It's fine. I will dodge, okay, because we're up here with a lot of bullets. I'll metal, and the metal will be my react action to go after Bigwinter. Does that make sense? Okay. So I'm kind of splitting my turn, I guess.
Okay.
Because apparently you can do that. I went and reread react.
Uh,
It doesn't say anything. It has to delay your whole turn or anything.
yeah. I mean, it's a D&DE rule, but
Right. Okay. So then that brings us to Fyrgrim.
Cool. Am I in the zone with everybody?
No, you are down in zone 3. Sorry, zone 4. You're one below us. Apologize.
Okay. So can I move and then cast a spell, or is that metal?
Nope, you can move and then cast a spell. There's no metal to that. You can-
I'll move into the zone and Inferno Blades.
Are you still singing? Is that still happening?
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool.
There's no limit on how.
Oh,
much
once you
one thing.
get it going, it goes.
Yes. Okay. So everybody is at now plus 1 damage additional.
Inferno Blades.
From Inferno Blade. So everybody's at plus 3 damage for the next 4 rounds. And anybody that they touch with their weapons, like whoever they damage with their weapons, is set on fire. And that individual will take an additional 1 damage at the start of their turn, which ignores armor.
Donosaurus,
Wow.
thank you so much for that Twitch Prime. Thank you so much for supporting us during Meftober.
Nice.
The
Awesome.
target remains on fire until they use an action to extinguish it.
Nice.
So if you touch them with your daggers 5 times, it looks like they'll burn 5 times at the start of their turn.
I think it doesn't. I'm just gonna go with it doesn't stack.
No.
I know. I'm sorry. You are either burning or you are not.
Sure. You're saying it's not.
But are
now
you like
appropriate to
really
the
burning?
condition?
Yeah, I'm really burning now. Like you don't achieve the really burning status. Good deep cut, Tom. Thank you.
Okay.
This makes perfect sense to Bigwinter because he is always either hungry or eating, and so of course you're either burning or not burning. Yeah.
True. Everything's fine.
Solid, yeah.
Brings us to Laanissa.
Well, I'll split my attacks between the one I already hit and then the other one that's not been hit by me yet.
Yeah. So, yeah, it'd be like a hit and then move and then hit the other one, but like you can do it.
All right. So on the one that's wounded, I did 5 wounds plus whatever Tom's bonus is.
3.
+3. Yeah.
So 8 damage.
Yeah, which is exactly enough on account of his armor to take care of it. The +3 is essentially taking care of their armor. So, like, yeah.
Well, he's also burning and bleeding, so he's
Yeah, no, he's gone. Like, you just, like, hack right into the like, you actually get, like, one of those, like, night elf, or one of those dark elf leaps up, like stab into its like collarbone, and then like you actually planted your heels into it while you did this, and then like leap off, and then like go full on diving across to attack the other one.
And we will do 9 to the other.
Total?
And, well, 9 total, but I had 2 6s. Does my bleed effect stack or not?
It's poison.
Okay, so it's 10 then, just plus 1 more, so 10 total.
Yep. So it takes the and it's already taken 10. Yeah, it's not looking good for this one. Whew.
Well, I blow a hole. Great.
Okay. So you like
No, so I attempt to disembowel. I get stuck halfway through. Kraith doesn't go off, but I rip it back out, and I decide to, you know what? One more swing. Let's metal and finish it.
Yeah,
off.
so you land in front of it and just like.
I approve of this message.
I'm so upset they didn't get to go.
Well, as I
What's
sink
the
back
sound?
into his guts, and I put both hands on it, I managed to rip through and do 9 more damage to the beastie.
That's yeah. You just like bring up both of the sickles now on its stomach and just like, and you do like a little flourish and a spin, so that like you're backwards kneeling down a little bit as it explodes into viscera behind you.
Okay.
Lovely.
Beautiful. That brings us to Myriad. Is his action react if something comes out of
The
portal?
portal is pretty much what Myriad's gonna do. Is just like Myriad like actually does the like puts one foot up on like the like little rubble stuff, you know, on the outskirts of the portal, and just like leans with the scythe, you know, like.
All gnawholes when they appear, regardless of what they appear on, always have rubble beside them.
Yeah.
Even if it's appearing like on a metal platform, there would just be inexplicable stone rubble.
Yeah. So just so it's got the like Captain Morgan like knee up, like he's Myriad is ready.
Okay, well, guess what? It's active Skaven turn, so let's see what comes out of that hole.
All right, so a couple things actually happen. The first thing is a sort of mass of misshapen monstrosity and writhing, squirming flesh and body parts comes emerging from this portal with just these like almost tendril like ligaments and like with little like hands at the end, and you just see this what can only be described as an abomination come through.
We were right. When you were gone, we were like, oh, it's probably a hell pit that's going to come through there.
Is it coming
Yeah,
through some sort of pit?
Yeah. So it just like sort of
You guys nailed it, yep.
Yeah, so it just kind of like undulates through it. But what you weren't expecting is the ripping, screaming noise sort of behind you in that widened platform area, as just this sort of 2D tear in space time occurs, and coming out comes another pair of fiends with a familiar sight to you, dear Skig.
Okay. That was the Claw Lord?
Yes.
Okay. Yep.
So you see,
the throwdown.
so you see, flanked by his essential royal Stormfiends.
Mm-hmm.
You see Clawlord Kizit, as I recall.
That's his name.
Like riding atop essentially this other sort of massive, like just Clan Molder style, like just monstrosity. Not quite a Stormfiend, just like this, you know, big.
Broodhorde is what you're looking for.
Is that what I'm looking for?
If he's riding a big monster, it's a Broodhorde.
Yeah.
So to be clear, we have a Hell Pit Abomination, the Claw Lord on some kind of Broodhorde, and 2 more Stormfiends.
Bound in hell. To be fair,
Okay.
these 2 Stormfiends have the shock gauntlets.
Okay. Yeah, well, of course they would. All right.
Of
Well,
course they do.
So this is one of those puzzle fights then, huh?
yes. So is the question: do they all then attack?
No, they come through. This is like the only one that gets to attack is the Hell Pit Abomination. That was the turn 0 was the reinforcements, but I wanted them all to come through at the same time.
Yeah, got it. Okay.
I said I had. I think I mentioned I had a turn 0 for this.
Yeah, that's fine. No problem.
Okay, so the turn 0 is the big boss really showing up. The hell pit actually.
If that's happening on 0, the point is they won't technically exist when Big Winter goes because he hasn't gone yet.
Yeah, they're currently screaming through reality. I just wanted the thematic of the moment.
So point being, Big Winter when you go, only the hell pit will exist.
Yeah,
so
yeah. So, but the hell pit's about to get its shit pushed in right now because Myriad's just been waiting.
Yes. So I think it's Myriad and then the
hell pit
and then Big Winter.
Right. So Myriad's going to tee off with his +3 damage as well.
Yeah, it's a big damage bonus. I hope you all are ready to make that work because, like I said, I'm out, boys.
Just wait. Just wait.
I'm going to do my best to keep you all alive.
So
Myriad gets stoked.
Myriad hitting on 3s. That is all of the dice hitting with +3 damage.
Yeah.
What's the burn? It burns now or something like that?
It does. The weapons are flaming, considered magical. They do +1 damage, and then they also cause the burn effect, which will burn ignoring armor at the start of the monster's turn.
So effectively, it just takes 1 extra damage right now because it's about to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right, I'll do that real quick.
I do lean down to Big
And
Winter.
that will just continue until...
Right. I'm going to whisper to Big Winter. Sometimes you've got to kill this big monster twice. That's all I say.
It is a D6 roll when it dies, by the way.
I thought it would excite him to know that.
And this is thematic for the things that have been reanimating the entire time throughout the whole first arc, right? This was what I was building toward. I'm really mad. No, I'm not mad at all. I think it's great foreshadowing that this all comes together. Anyway, so Big Winter.
So after Skig says that, my mind starts working. I'm thrown 1,000 years in the future when ogre scientists finally crack the quantum mechanics of hungry and eating superposition. Then I realize the truth. He won't roll that.
I think it's technically the Hell Pit's turn before Big Winter, by the way.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah, so the Hell Pit is going to attack the immediate threat. So a couple things happen. You can see it healing in real time the damage that was dealt to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just sort of surges forward, and it's actually going to strike Myriad sort of just in this sort of massive bulk of just flesh and limb.
It's okay. You wounded it. You don't have to worry about that Ren 3 anymore. 3 damage. The thing sucks.
Well, which is why it's good. It's got a 5-up save, because it's going to be really hard to deal all 3 of those damage.
Right, yeah.
He just slams into Myriad for 8 damage, and Myriad slides backward.
Good times.
And you note that sort of as it punches in, there's a sort of weird piercing fleshy barbs that just seem to pierce through Myriad's armor and stuff. Now Big Winter goes.
Heal this. And then the monster's okay. So I have +1 damage on my attack because of it being on fire, and then later it takes fire damage sometimes.
Yes, yeah, and you have +2 because of the song, so you're technically +3 damage total.
Oh, it's possible to roll a 10 here, although unlikely. What's its defense?
It is only good. It is but good in terms of
That
its
checks out. It's got a 5-up armor.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking for...
It's more about its bulk and regen than its
Yeah.
armor.
Okay. That's... And 3s are real easy to get when I have +2. 7 damage, 2 of which are 6s.
Why do you have a +2? It's +2
'Cause I have
damage on
focus
that.
2.
It. Oh.
And I
Oh,
rolled 2 2s,
yeah.
so I
Okay.
made the
Okay.
2s 3s.
So how much damage?
7 with ignoring 2 armor.
Okay.
Is that in addition to my +3?
What was that? Oh, yeah. So 10. So the actual 10.
There it is. Big tenor.
Nice.
So 10 damage, ignoring 2 armor. I like it.
I'm at the county fair, and I picked up the hammer, and I rung the bell.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
Travis.
It's just sort of like retreating and receding back into the pit, but it's not quite dead yet.
That's a good idea, but
Careful, this party might go after it.
again. I'm like, yeah, you better run.
Sometimes you got to give the people what they want, which is
Sure.
a hell pit abomination fight.
All right, that was so this is 5 damage. Only one of them are 6s, so that would be 8 damage, ignoring 1 armor.
Plus 3 more.
What?
Plus 3 from Tom.
That I was factoring that in, so it's 8.
Oh,
ignoring
8.
1.
It had precisely 7 left. However, you only ignore 1 armor, so it's actually still hanging on there by a thread.
Yeah.
And then it burns to death.
At the beginning of
At the beginning of its turn, yes. So it's
So
gonna
at
like
the beginning of its turn, it both
light on
burns
fire
and
this whole
heals.
thing.
Yeah, well, it's got to heal too, so it's gonna like heal and burn, but it's on fire twice, so it's like enough to burn it into like I gotta roll a die, and like it might burn to death on its next turn.
Oh,
Let's
is
see
it
what
really like? Are we really doing a D6 roll off to see whose thing worked? Yeah, we have to emulate AOS, right?
Yeah, we'll roll to make it fun. We'll roll it. We'll roll a d6 roll off to see if it burns on its turn.
Priority.
And then bottom of the round, Homie and his bodyguard show up, and that's new.
Correct.
Initiative.
Yeah, so Kizit, and you immediately recognize Kizit. You will note that the sort of like horror critter that he is standing aloft has this sort of like this glass shard near the center of its body where its like skin's sort of been built around, and you can see this sort of burning like almost warp energy in it. And occasionally you can see these licks of like amethyst, like just tinsel and silver tinsel, like these colors you've seen in the syringes, because the syringes evolved like twice from the initial one you saw. And you can see a couple of like those tinsels show up every now and then.
Good. Oh, I had a reaction. Sorry, I had my react after Fyrgrim because I had saved an action as a react, which is just going to be a heal. Okay, I'm just going to drop a general heal.
Okay.
Nothing too special.
Well, Myriad was down to 1, so it's welcomed.
Sure, everybody heals 4.
Cool.
Okay, now new initiative.
Okay, cool.
Fyrgrim.
8.
Laanissa.
This is also 8.
Okay. Bigwinter.
Hold on. Yeah, this is an 8.
Okay. Myriad.
Myriad with a 6.
I know
Kizit.
there are multiple bad guy groups. I assume Kizit and the Stormfiends are separate.
Kizit's gonna be an 8. The Hell Pits and the Stormfiends will go on the same initiative at a 5.
Okay, got it. Sounds good. Alrighty.
I have a question quick before you. Oh, wait, were you gonna do your last? Did you do that extra action? Oh, you did. You healed.
I did.
everyone.
I healed everybody for 4. Yep.
Yeah, really. I do have to go,
Okay.
but you guys, we normally go for like 3 or 4 hours. So you can keep going if you want. I can.
I'm gonna need to wrap it, too.
if you want.
Why don't we just call that, like, we've got initiative. I mean,
Yeah.
why don't we just call it there?
Yeah, we have initiative. The big bads just showed up. You can say something
Heads.
suitably badass, of course, or write it down for next time.
I told you every week we delayed, I added a layer to this boss fight. So,
Sounds good.
all right. No, if you got to wrap it there, and Tom's been dozing off at the computer, not that you were.
I've been so out.
I don't.
Sorry.
In his eyes.
He was just.
All right.
My adventure was just super boring. You know, it was hard to hang in there for.
As Tom told us before he went live, he got up at 4 in the morning.
No, I understand everybody.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, we'll call it there. We got our initiative set. Vince, I'm going to trust you to track that. I've got my notebook filled with yeah,
See,
okay.
our initiatives for the whole.
Yeah.
This is.
Okay.
I had to create. It'll be real easy to remember, Meph. Cause see this.
Mhm.
That last round was the last one over here on this side. I just had to make a new row.
Nice. Almost like Destiny. Because there might be some tricks yet to this combat. All right. Dun dun dun. You got 4 out of 5 syringes plunged into the heart. So you have like the one syringe just kind of like clanking and bobbling there. You got Hellpit clinging on to life. So we got the scene is set for next week. We should then wrap the Anvilgard arc there.
Sweet.
Excellent.
Good.
Yeah.
All right, good show.
Which means there will be falling action next week because it's going to be pretty much combat and then just like falling action.
Yeah, sure.
So
Excited to get back at this with you guys.
All right.
Absolutely. It was great.
Yeah, thank you.
I hope you enjoyed the super combat heavy, but like I thought it was pretty interesting, scenario of like sort of a climax.
Also, there's a Claw Lord on a monstrosity flanked by 2 Shock Gauntlet Stormfiends, so like it might truly be falling action.
Okay.
All right.
Well, folks.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Chat gang, you know it. You're the reason we do this thing. Catch you all around later. Good night, everybody.